Sean, Second Chance Surface. What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man. I'm excited to be back on, that's for sure.
Round two. We had you on number 5. You were my 5th episode, and I was listening to some of that again because you and I have been talking again. We seen each other at the baseball game, and then you got your own podcast out, which we're going to talk about. But I was glad I saw you at the game because even though I follow you, sometimes we can kind of gloss over what we see on social media. But when I saw you at the softball or the baseball game, you had your guys with you. And then you told me about the mentorship program and all this stuff, dude. So I'm like, we got to get you back on. And then I'm watching you on social media. Then you start your own podcast. So listen, I'm going to have you give your, let's say, 2-minute testimony. Can you give your testimony in 2 minutes?
Absolutely.
If you want to hear Sean's full story, go to episode 5. It's a good one. It's a really good one. We got fat pictures of him when he was big and overweight, and that was part of his physical journey in addition to his spiritual journey. And so go listen to his full story. But just for people that are listening right now that don't want to turn it off, give us your 2-minute testimony.
For sure. So let's say 16 to 26, pretty much a full-blown drug addict. Ended up being methamphetamine was the main drug of choice for the second half of my addiction. At 26 years old, right when my son was born, my door was kicked in by the DEA for selling drugs, and I was sentenced to 13 years originally. Due to an appeal and getting some time off, I ended up doing 6 years in federal prison. So my son was 6 when I got out. But in prison, I formed a relationship with God, got 4 certifications as a personal trainer, an associate's degree, and started a interracial Bible study, which, if you know anything about prison, is very rare, right?
Yeah.
I was actually told I wasn't allowed to do that, but it didn't stop me. Then fast forward, do a drug program in prison, which was awesome because it was a rational thinking program, which I really needed. Got out of prison, met this unbelievable blessing named Christy that I ended up getting married to. And for some reason, she believed in me to put her savings up for us to open a gym. And it just, honestly, the gym just took off. It was an absolute blessing. And I think
That's kind of where we were. That's
yeah.
where we were when
Perfect.
the last time when that's where you were. And I think we were in the middle of COVID. So it was kind of like, man, a lot of gyms shut down during COVID. So I want you to address that as like how y'all were able to supernaturally keep that thing open. What did God do for y'all? How did your wife and you get together and go, how are we going to make this happen? And I know there had to been some supernatural favor and stuff that's happening there. So, but you got some things going on now, man, that just are blowing me away. And I know we've talked about before about just how sometimes we can get comfortable in the dream that we're already living, that we forget that there's bigger things out there. And and you saw that with me, and now I'm seeing it with you. So just talk about things that have happened since the first episode, since you opened the gym, the pandemic hit, and now what has happened since then.
Perfect. I got it. So, but I have to start off with this. And I know I told you this, and I'm going to try to say it without crying, but you were the first person that, like, by asking me to be on the show and pouring into me and made me realize that it was okay to be a felon, a forgiven felon.